Hi, and welcome to Chamber Chat here in the Inside Lowell Studios. I'm Danielle McFadden, president of the Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce. So excited to have our guest on with us today. I have Chris Urbine. He is the owner and college planner with Class 101.
Thank you so much for having me, Danielle.
I am so excited to have you here. We have talked on the phone, we have emailed, we have an event
Yes.
planned together. So it's so nice to be able to sit in the studio with you and talk more about your business.
Agreed. Thank you.
So, can you tell us about your origins and mission of Class 101?
Absolutely. So, as we discussed, I taught for well over a decade. I taught everything. I've done work with students in grades 1 through 12. I was also on faculty at multiple colleges. I had an administrative role at one college where I was overseeing programming for teacher education courses. And through my time working in high schools, I really found a passion for working with students on their college planning. I felt like a lot of students were not choosing the right fit for college, were spending too much money on college, were just settling on a college because maybe a friend is going there. They didn't really know what they wanted to do. And I found a real passion in that. And when the time came for me to begin exploring a business, Class 101 felt like the perfect fit because our mission really is to provide families with expert guidance on the college search, admissions, financial aid process, so that they get into a great college at an affordable price.
That is so great. You hear oftentimes like people will look at specific schools because of the affordability, but sometimes with scholarships and everything else,
Yes.
like you should cast your net and work with an expert.
And that's one of the things we say to our families all the time. Like, just because a school, the state school might not be your best option,
Yeah.
there may be a school out there that can offer you much more money. And when you have a full package that we work with our students to complete, your college application looks so much better and you can get more money. And then your dream school is more affordable.
That's so great. And I didn't realize your expertise is so varied. So it's great that you found your passion and then we're able to find a business that
Yes.
matches with that.
Yes.
So what sets Class 101 apart from other college planning services?
Absolutely. So we are full service. A lot of people focus on just essay writing or just on completing an application. We do it all. So we're going to help students develop their college list. We're going to explore majors with them if we need to. We do SAT and ACT prep. We do PSAT prep so that we can improve
Wow.
test scores. We explore scholarship opportunities. We're going to manage deadlines. We're going to help with the transition to college. We're going to pursue financial aid, help families with the FAFSA. We have essay workshops on site. We have professional essay editors to help our students. So we really are a full service organization. And I think one of the common things that I hear about is the pricing component of it. And we are also, because we are owner operated, we have the ability to offer our services at a more affordable price for families. So
Great.
parents are like, oh, am I going to be spending thousands a month? No. You put a down payment down, and then parents are spending like a couple, like $100, $200 a month in our payment plan when their kids are starting as early as eighth and ninth grade.
And you're doing everything. It's not like they're going
Yes,
piecemeal, for all the different components. That's huge. You get to know
exactly.
the families, get to know the students.
And we develop these relationships over 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah.
And we see the students grow. We help them with their extracurriculars. We improve their resumes. And it builds their confidence too. Right? We hear so much about mental health and
Yes.
the stress of college applications. And our goal is to take that off the table for the students and for the families. So many families are fighting. Like parents are fighting with their kids.
Yeah.
Stop fighting.
Yeah.
We will help you manage the whole thing.
That is amazing. And I'm sure too, you talk about, using your services. By using your services and getting the resume up and the essays and the SAT prep, a lot of times your package is going to be even more,
Exactly, more attractive when admissions
yes.
officers are looking at
And so
it.
it almost can pay for itself.
Yes, more, many times over again is
Over
the
and
goal.
over and over. How does Class 101 support students throughout their high school journey? And
Yeah.
it's a journey.
It is such a journey. So we always say early engagement is a game changer. So starting as early as possible with us, it is actually cheaper to do that. The earlier you start, the cheaper the overall package is. But we're going to work with students not only on the college process, but we're there as a mentor for them. we're having monthly one-on-one meetings with students. So we're there to discuss grades. We're there to troubleshoot. This class is really hard. What should I do? So we're troubleshooting that with kids. We're there to help if any obstacles come up, whether it be mental health, physical health, schoolwork, family, any of those things. We're also there kind of as an additional resource for families. I enjoy that mentorship component of it. Like that's what led me to go be a teacher. I enjoy building relationships with students. And so it's nice to have these relationships for 4 or 5 years, and even longer when you consider younger siblings.
Right. I know, versus when you're a teacher and you get them for like 10 months and then you're like, I have to set you free.
Or I get them back the following year and the following year. Yes, because I'm like, I want them back. I want my children back.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. That's so great. Can you talk about some success stories and testimonials from students who have benefited from Class 101 services? I'm sure we could do many episodes on that alone.
Yes. So we are part of a franchise. There are over 50 locations nationwide, and we're continuing to grow every day. But our organization, since Tom Haben founded it 25 years ago, we've been able to get students over $1 billion in scholarship money.
Is
Merit
huge.
scholarship money, like money that is not repaid. And our average comes out to be well over $100,000 per student.
That is incredible.
Yes.
So yeah, when you said pay for itself.
Many times over again,
You
25, 50 times over
not
again.
kidding. That is huge.
Yes.
What are some common challenges that students face when it comes to college planning?
Oh.
And how can you help that Class 101 address those problems? I think I'm going to sit back for this one.
Our goal is to remove those obstacles, right? Like college planning, it's in the news. It's all over right now. It's been, the stress of it is a constant discussion in most high schools. It's how do we alleviate the stress? How do we provide more supports for students? So really, there's obstacles all along the way. It's what colleges are the right fit. What majors should I be exploring? I've worked with students who think they want to go into finance and wind up going into construction management, or wind up going into computer science, wind up going into different areas, because we're having these conversations and they're talking about their classes, they're talking about things that they've learned, and you see their eyes all of a sudden like light up in excitement. I'm like, hey, you really might enjoy that. There are majors that do this.
Yeah.
And like, oh, I never heard of that. So it's picking the major. And then when it comes time to applying the deadlines, you're applying to 10 schools, you have different deadlines, you have different essay requirements, making sure your recommendations are there, making sure your test scores are set out, making sure that your GPA is good. A good GPA is not going to just be the only thing. So we're helping find these opportunities all the way through. Like, what is a good summer job? Where can I get an internship? What are good volunteer opportunities? So giving the whole like start to finish, right? Like high school is hard.
It's crazy how much it's changed.
Yes, and not that
I applied
long.
22 years ago. Just the things that high school students now, like you talk about volunteer opportunities, internships. What is a good summer job? When I was a kid, a good summer job was a summer job.
Yes. I lifeguarded at the beach and taught swimming lessons, and it was amazing. And I did a little bit of tutoring on the side. But
So you
now
were destined for this.
Yes, exactly. I know. I wanted to teach from the time I was like 5 years old.
That's amazing.
Every year I'd be like, I'm going to be a kindergarten teacher. Then I was going to be a first grade teacher, then a second grade teacher. And I just went and did everything anyway. So
You've done it all, and now here you are helping families, which is so nice that you get to help them, like you said, for 4 or 5 years, and then siblings. So you become a part of their lives.
Their lives, exactly.
It's
Going
really
to graduation parties, being at graduation, being there, all excited that they're crossing the stage.
Yeah, that's so great. So we talked a little bit about this, but career goals. So how can Class 101 help students identify their career goals and align them with the right college choices?
Yes, so man, right? There are so many majors, and there's so many more than we had when we went to school.
And that
too.
you don't even know, like at that age, to know what you want to do. You're there to help guide and talk about, like you said, careers that they'd never even necessarily heard of. Their parents might not have even heard of these careers.
Or it exists, but it's like, okay, how do I do this in college? How do I
do
set
this?
myself
How do
up
I
for
become
success?
that?
Yes. So we do the disc on all of our students, a disc profile, which kind of gives some insight, like personality.
Yeah.
What are you interested in? What fields might be a good fit? We look up occupational handbooks. We do we'll talk to people that are in the careers. We'll help get students set up with going to, like, looking at potential internships, looking into, like, what are students that have graduated in the field doing right now. So whether it be on LinkedIn or some sort of social media, right? Like, okay, who graduated from this school's finance department or finance major? What are they now doing at 22, 23, 24 years old? Does this seem like a career path that is of interest? So helping students really look at what interests them and spending some time on that, right? And that's something that changes throughout high school, and that might change for a lot of students throughout college. And that's one of the other pieces too. If you're between a few majors, you're like, oh, I really think I want to start with this, but I might transition to that. Finding a school that will let you do that, so you don't have to pick up and move all your stuff.
True, that makes so much sense, and something that people don't think about.
Yeah, like that's one of the reasons I chose BU. I went to Boston University, and I was like, I know I want to teach. What if I want to do economics? What if I want to do international business? What if I want to try engineering? Like, these were all interests of mine in high school. And I wanted to make sure whatever school I went to, I could, in theory, transfer. Nothing's ever guaranteed. But if I had the GPA, I had the recommendations, I could transfer to another major.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is a little off the cuff, but are a lot of high school students on LinkedIn?
Not really. We will help students develop, like if they're in a niche field, like their LinkedIn profiles. More students are on LinkedIn every year, which makes sense, right? But it is still not super, super common, but we do work with students if we feel the need is there to develop their LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, because I know, like, at the college, I've spoken to college groups and stuff, and they've been on LinkedIn, so I was just curious.
And it helps students too, right? Because it helps them explore and find what's going to be of interest to them. It's not just, oh, mom thinks I should do this, so I'm going to go do this major. No offense to moms or dads like myself, but we want them to figure out what aligns best with their strengths too.
That's so great. In what ways does Class 101 assist students in finding and securing scholarships and financial aid opportunities? The money question, the biggest thing. One of our first things, we talked about the mentorship component, right? So in that mentorship, we're talking about grades, but a good GPA is not just going to get you the money anymore. Building your resume, we help students. Our goal is for them to have multiple awards on their list, multiple different volunteer opportunities, different organizations where they took a leadership role, helping them to stand out on their resume. But then we're also helping. Every September we do a financial aid webinar for right before the FAFSA opens on October 1st. We'll do a financial aid webinar for all of our families. We have our own internal documents that we use for families to help organize their information so they have it readily available. And we put it in more family-friendly language because it's like doing taxes. You're looking at these things, you're like, I don't know what half of these questions asked. So we're assisting with filling out the FAFSA. That's huge.
And then we're also looking at outside scholarships and inside scholarships. Obviously, outside scholarships, nothing's really guaranteed. But when you look inside, you're like, okay, this is what I need to qualify for merit-based scholarships. And then we also have, every year, Class 101, we do what's called the 101 Scholar. And this is nationwide, so any of the franchisees or any of the franchises can nominate students. Students write an essay, and we choose a few 101 scholars.
That's so cool. I love that. Wow, that must be such an honor to be chosen for that after like all the work that you put into. It's amazing. What can parents expect from their partnership with Class 101? How do you involve parents in supporting students' college journey? Empty nester support group?
Yes, exactly. That is 100% needed. That'd be cool, like September event that we should do. We're saying we need events in here. We could do a September empty nester event every year. But our goal is really to empower students, but part of our goal in empowering students is also serving families. We want our parents to we want to really do most of our communication with the students. We're meeting with students one-on-one, but every time we meet with every time we meet with our students, we send a running record of our notes to the family so they know what we discussed in our meeting. So in our meetings, we're discussing their resume, we're discussing their grades, we're discussing SAT, ACT prep, and we're always discussing multiple colleges that they have researched. But then parents will get an email from me shortly after our meeting that details everything that we have discussed. And then we'll do check-in meetings with families every couple of months. We'll pick up the phone, we'll chat for a little while, talk about what's going on, any questions that parents have. If a student needs like a tutor in a certain area, referring them to get support, say in chemistry. High school chemistry is one of those things that students
I don't want to ever revisit that.
Consistently struggle with, but so helping them out in those areas. So we're doing check-in meetings with the families, and then the most exciting part is when students are in our office to hit submit on the application. We're having these big submission parties for families. So you invite your family friends, your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents in to watch you hit the submit button. So that is really always fun. A lot of fun. And parents know, like, I'm a text message, a phone call, an email away, and we're always there for parents too.
It's a huge weight off of parents' shoulders, I'm sure, too, right? Everybody's so busy, and so they may feel like, oh my gosh, I really gotta take the time and help with the essay. It's not because they don't want to, but you're the expert. So
but then also parents know nothing according to teenagers. Remember when we were teenagers?
That's true. Like, you're really going to write an essay about that? That's
nothing.
Very true.
So our goal is really to help like minimize the parent stress also. And enjoy the high school years, right? Like teenage years are interesting, but they're also a nice opportunity to see like the child that you've grown and developed rather than constantly fighting and constantly having to nag about college.
So you're improving relationships.
That's the goal. Like make it easier at home.
I can see how that would be very helpful.
Exactly.
So how can families get involved, or do you have any events coming up? Can come check you out.
Well, we are doing we are having an open house on August 22nd, where we are hoping to invite as many members of the community to. We also do, every couple of months, we do a free mock SAT. So families can come in, you can sign your kids up, and they can just come in for 4 hours on either Saturday or Sunday and do a mock SAT. We do the results right within a couple of weeks. We'll sit down. Yeah, so if you they come in, they take the SAT, and we write up a report, and we'll sit with the families and go over the SAT results.
I love that. And you get rid of your teenagers for 4 hours.
Exactly, on a Saturday, or make them wake up on a Saturday or Sunday morning. No more sleeping till 1 p.m. And then we also do a free consultation, so where we go through all of our services. And I always tell people, like, I am not a salesperson. It is no obligation, like no stress. But come in, just like do a one-on-one conversation, whether it be on Zoom, in our office.
Great.
And just learn a little bit more about our services and see if it would be a good fit.
Where are you located?
We are right in Vinyl Square, so in North Chelmsford, right where Zesties and Tequilas is. So when you have your freshmen or sophomores, just drop them off and go get some food, have an hour of peace.
That's great.
And come back and get them.
A margarita.
Exactly.
That's what I would do. I have a few years till my kids are class ink ready, but we'll get there.
We will, before we know it.
That's true. Yeah, because you have little ones too, right?
Yes, a 6 and a 3-year-old.
Yes,
we're doing, I don't know if you did like we have the class of 2034 shirt.
Oh my gosh.
That he's going to put on the first day of school every single year.
That's really sweet.
We've got a 2XL because I am tall. He is tall. The thing is huge on him right now. And
then you're going to look back and be like, can you believe how big that was on him?
I know.
Oh, it's so sweet.
And then we are also taking over the Instagram this weekend.
Yeah.
So if this weekend on Saturday and Sunday, we'll be posting to the story. We'll have open Q&A, so if people have questions, they can just put it right there in the story, and we'll respond back. Our goal is to do it relatively quickly. We'll have information about our upcoming events.
Great.
We have an SAT prep class starting in a week and a half. So
you are busy.
We are super busy. We're so excited.
That's great. And now is a great time to start thinking about these things as families because school's out. So you have a little bit of time to think about things.
Before school starts up, getting in a different routine, getting this established.
Yeah, that's great. I Thank you. This was so fun.
Danielle, it was. Thank you so
I
much.
really
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you being here, and we'll see you at the open house on August 22nd.
Thank
And
you.
we can't wait to see the Instagram takeover.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for tuning in to Chamber Chat here in the Inside Lowell Studios. We will be back again soon with another great guest.